podcast.
I know, at some
I'm
point
not
I got
surprised at all.
I was going to
This
say,
is
like,
exactly what I thought was going to happen.
I hate you all. I hate you all. So here's the thing, Matteo. Okay,
See.
we're getting to the food now. We just have to get to the food.
I'd like this
now,
all in Italian,
cheat day.
please.
We all love. Okay, you want me to do Italian? We're feeding Isaac. It's cheat day food, pasta, right? Matteo is a pasta connoisseur, truly a man in the know. Goes to Italy to learn how to do it the right way, right? Am I?
See.
So, Matteo is going to take us into the kitchen here at the Olive Tree. And
The very distinguished kitchen.
the
of the Olive.
distinguished kitchen of the Olive Tree upstairs from the Comedy
There's
Cellar.
Boulou, and then there's the Olive Tree.
Yeah.
Just saying. In terms of technology of the kitchen.
Is this masa? So, we're going to go in there, and Matteo's going to
We
make
need a
us...
cheese grater.
Do we not get the cheese grater?
Val says it's by the pots and pans.
She's lying. This
Yeah,
house
you
is a
don't
house
have
of
a
lies.
kitchen without a cheese
No, we've
grater.
got this. We've got this.
All right.
We're going to move into the kitchen. Matteo is going to start cooking a carbonara, which this is the other thing. Very early in meeting Matteo, I was talking about like how Noah likes to make a carbonara, and I mentioned that he put cream in it. And Matteo, like, I
Who
think
puts cream? You
my
put
husband.
cream in your-
My husband.
This is like...
And Matteo, in that moment, I remember feeling his respect for me fly, like you could see it fly away.
Well, the whole fettuccine Alfredo, that is hilarious. That is so funny. Because it's just butter and those two different cheeses. Is it 2 or 3? I forgot.
Just Parmigiano Reggiano, 24 months aged. That's it. And pasta water.
Okay, we're going to talk for a second.
This
When we
is-
go off camera, I'm going to tell you.
You can
about
talk now. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't. This is really not
This is
something
too
I can say.
intense.
Yeah,
Right.
it's way
This you
too
can't
intense.
say?
This
Yes.
is worse
We
than
heard
dick
about your
pics.
collection of
Whatever
dick
he
pics.
thinks about
This-
Right,
The
no, because
fettuccine
it's
we
about
can't
someone
discuss.
else,
Oh,
so I'm not
I've-
gonna tell.
We'll get okay. So Matteo, you're going to lead us in a carbonara.
Yes, can you just tell us what you're going to be cooking and what's in it?
Sure. This is the Roman carbonara. There's a restaurant called Luciano in Piazza di... Well, it's like Campo di Fiori a Roma. And I just met him and had lunch with him. And it is the traditional way of making the Roman carbonara. So you use ingredients guanciale, which is pork cheek. You don't use pancetta, you don't use bacon, and you use pecorino romano, and you're going to use spaghetti. So dry pasta. You never use fresh pasta for una carbonara.
What is
And
that?
you don't
Why?
use Barilla pasta, by the way.
No Barilla.
I did a post with Barilla pasta, and I got all the queens came down on me. So I started using DiCecco because
I
I
love
guess
DiCecco.
me too.
I love
DiCecco's-
DiCecco.
It's a different thing.
Well,
Different thing.
DiCecco is actually so when you. By the way, there's no better, dry, or fresh pasta. They're just made for different sauces. So you never
Okay.
use like a dry pasta with like a ragu or bolognese because you use a parpadello or tagliatelle, which is a fresh pasta. So for carbonara in Rome, they only accept 2 pastas. So rigatoni, mezzi rigatoni, or spaghetti, or sometimes bucatini. But it has to be dry and it has to be those pastas. That's the only pastas you use for una carbonara. Yeah, and then you use egg yolk, and usually 2 egg yolk per person. If you want it extra creamy, throw in an extra egg yolk. You're going to use the pasta water to emulsify the egg yolks with the pecorino romano.
Wild.
And,
Well, here's what I want to know. Why do you speak differently when you're talking about Italian? You go, hey,
I
blah, 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 blah.
I
It's
can't
like, you're
say
that is so racist. That is cultural
He's
appropriation.
so- he's
except
so
that you
Italian.
are Italian, right?
Ok,
He's
se
also
noi vogliamo
Mexican.
cucinare la carbonara, la prima
There
cosa
we
che
go,
dobbiamo
okay.
fare prima che dobbiamo usare le guanciale, perché non potete usare pancetta, perché pancetta ha anche bacon, questo americano che non si usa mai. E la seconda volta la
Is this sexy? Is it hearing men in foreign language? Does that make him sexier?
It used to be very sexy.
Used to be very sexy.
There you go.
Used to be very sexy.
And now
No,
it's
but
like, you know,
I used to
every
make
other-
I used to make
I have Duolingo too.
I used
No,
to
I
make
don't
jokes
really.
about
I did once,
who
but-
I love, Giada Di Laurentiis. I used to make jokes because she would always say like mozzarella. Then I saw this interview of her. And she's fully speaking Italian. I was like, never mind.
Oh no, you know
I was
she
like,
is. My God,
I love
and
her.
she's a really good. She knows what she's doing.
I love
Another one who's
Giada Di
absurdly hot.
Laurentiis. Oh,
Matteo.
she's beautiful.
Mateo, you're half Mexican though, right?
I'm Mexican and Italian
Do you
and
put on,
Irish.
do you put on
Which
the Mexican
half?
accent when you talk about Mexican
That's
food?
No,
amazing.
but I grew up like living in it,
With
speaking
Italy.
Italian, living.
He goes to Italy like 3 times a year. I mean, like you're always in Italy.
But it is embarrassing,
know.
I admit. You're right, it is. But
No,
I
no,
don't
it's
know how
not
to
embarrassing,
say
it's hilarious.
pecorino romano. That sounds foreign to me.
You can, darling.
Yes,
work it.
you
work
can.
It, work it.
No.
But you know, by the way, and then there were all these rules about Italian food and pasta, whatever. But if you like cottage cheese in your pasta, for God's sake, that's what you like. I'm serious.
I
though.
can't
This is
wait.
what-
I can't wait to
No, because
see.
you can make pasta with a lot of different things. You can make carbonara a lot of different ways. But you're saying it's the original Roman thing from that one restaurant. But isn't there another restaurant in Rome who makes it slightly differently with like some kind of herb or something that they add? I mean it. No?
Well, so there's a Italian channel on YouTube called La Squita, and now I can't remember what the name of it is, where they Inquisita, where they specify certain dishes and bring 3 chefs of that dish to talk about the origins, how they make it. So usually the preparation for meal isn't so much on the preparation, it's more about the ingredients that are being used, because you can make, when they have 3 chefs make carbonara 3 different ways, but it's with the same ingredients.
Right.
What they don't like is when they show like a bunch of YouTube videos of like Americans or like, whomever making their version, and they start screaming and yelling because they add garlic and this and that, da-da-da.
But what about like regions in Italy where you have carbonara that's made with a million different things?
Well, carbonara is only made. It is a Roman dish.
Because why?
So
Because
Naples wouldn't do it
there were
because
only coal miners in Rome or something. Come on, they had coal miners in Istria and coal miners in Padua.
But that's how Italy is. Like in Sicily, we're Sicilian. They're Napolitano. They're Calabrese. They are Venezia. Everyone speaks a different language. So it's like there's distinctual cultural differences.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone obviously learns the national language Italian, but there's 34 national languages in Italy.
I had this long fight with my best friend Mark Morris, the choreographer, in front of people. It was really embarrassing, where I was insisting that bolognese had to have veal in it, because if it didn't have veal, it was just not going to be a bolognese. He was like, no, Isaac, bolognese means meat sauce from Bologna. And I was like, yes. And if you go to Bologna, where I used to go like also 3 times a year, right? You have to have veal in this fucking sauce, or it just, they look at you like, and they're very polite. They're very polite. It's like picking up a spoon and twirling your spaghetti.
Now, I go to Tampa 3 times a year, and it's done slightly different there. Ketchup, I think they call it on top.
Hot dog meat.
Look,
Nice
the Italians are it's a small country, and it's, but they're very proud of what they do and how they make it.
Let's get to cooking it, and then
Sure.
when we come back, we can talk about it.
Okay.
All right.
Matteo, and my cousin Giovanni, they just moved from Sicily to Jersey.
At what age did you
taste the water?
pick up Italian?
When I started,
born with it?
I started really learning when I was like in middle school, high school, because I would go back and stay with my family in Sicily.
Why does that grate nicer than it ever does for me?
This is a really soft cheese.
It's a better
quality rasp. It has better teeth. It has sharper teeth.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, like, so it's still about crop tops?
I guess so.
What?
I said just today, I guess.
Well, it's like it's a hot day.
like that.
There's a heat
every day is a crop top.
I'm gonna start. Do you want me to do it?
I mean, I'm about the age now where I have to stop it, so.
No, darling, you're not.
I'm 36, so it's,
You are not 36.
Yeah, I just turned 36.
You torturer. 36 and a half shirt? My God. I wasn't at 36 months. They put me in a fucking boomer.
Wait, how many pounds? Are you making 1 pound of pasta?
I think I'm gonna do 3/4 of a pound. I mean, just like sort of for.
See, this is the thing about you. That's why, like, she makes 3/4 of a pound of pasta. I cannot approach pasta unless it's 1 pound.
You make the whole damn thing.
Absolutely.
You make
What
the
am I
bag.
going to do with the other quarter of a pound of pasta?
When am I gonna get to that?
collect it?
It's hard to make. It's hard to make carbonara for multiple people. To be honest with you,
Well,
like
I know.
it's a hard dish to make.
It's a hard. I think pasta is very hard to make in general for more than like 4 people. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to use pecorino romano. This is something I learned from Luciano. He uses grana padano, which is like almost like a Parmesan cheese. But I couldn't find any, so I'm using a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So like 3/4 of pecorino romano, and then for this you can use a 1/4 Parmigiano Reggiano, just to help give it like a little bit of nuttiness. This is a great cheese.
Can I tell you how much
Oh my
I
God.
hate the descriptor nuttiness when referring to cheese?
Because it's testicular?
No, because it's just so broad.
That's what I got too.
It's so broad.
It has like almost like a hint of like if you could like eat a chestnut, you're like, oh, I feel like there's a kind of like it's not
oils.
too hard. It's not like a goat cheese. It's like
You know what? It's like not kind of mixed with regurgitated Darius. I mean, like, it's not really nutty. I'm sorry. And all chefs use it. It's like when people say chocolate is decadent, I want to slap them.
Why?
Because come to my apartment and I will show you decadent, darling. Chocolate is not decadent.
Is it?
No, they use this because they use this. It's just this thing that they use. They use these descriptors to say, like, oh, it's so decadent or nutty. It's always nutty or decadent.
All right, let's see how they gave us this one.
You hate that it's overused.
No, I don't agree with it. It's
The inaccuracy and the overuse
the
together.
inaccuracy plus the overuse.
Yeah.
Equals get it out of here. Look at her. It looks like swordfish. What's wrong with her? Why does the guanciale look like swordfish?
I make it. This is a new type of a carbonara. We're doing a swordfish carbonara.
This is buck wild. I've never.
You
They
never
just
seen it
gave
like
that
this?
to me. They just gave you a guanciale.
Well, usually they're supposed to cut it like in kind of bacon strips, but I did this over Instacart, so
So they just
Here we
sent you a giant guanciale.
they just sent me a giant guanciale.
This is what you want, right?
So here we go. So I mean, without the
Knife skills.
Is he doing it? Is he knifing well?
Because it's all fat, that, right?
yeah, it's so hard to cut
Even when it's
So much is
guanciale.
gonna cook out, probably too, right?
Yes, and we're gonna be cooking it down
Look
a
at the tail,
lot.
just choppy chop. So okay, so you're cutting the guanciale into like bacon strips.
Yeah, you want it to
It would
sort
not
of.
occur to me to do that. I would dice it.
Well, I'll show you. That's sort of like what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
I was going to cube it, probably.
Are you gonna cube it, Daddy?
I like it sort of like. I'll show you in a second.
Strip.
Yeah, like
Strips.
strippy.
Busan, you got it. Next turn.
Do you have a pen?
Boligrafo.
I'm taking out. See this like peppery part on it? I'm taking
Yeah,
that
the
out.
rind. You have to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst piece there. So it's gonna be sort of like this. Some people like to do it in cubes. Some people like to do it. I like the guanciale to be
Crisp.
yeah, a little chewy on the middle, nice and crispy on the outside.
Is guanciale smoked? I forgot.
No, that's not.
It's just plain old
Yeah.
cured, right?
Yes.
Cured in like pepper and salt.
Yeah,
Sugar?
yeah, pretty much. I don't know if they do sugar, to tell you the truth.
Did you sugar something? Did I miss something?
No. He said the opposite. He said they don't use sugar. Guanciale. They don't smoke it. It's not smoked.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as smoked bacon in Italy?
No.
No, right?
They just salt it?
Just salt
And
it.
air dry it? Well, I don't know.
How do you smoke bacon? With a smoker, or is it like a...
Yeah.
Do they have smokers in Italy?
American. No, because American bacon is
everyone
also
smokes.
Yeah.
That is true.
Okay, so wait, you're taking the rind off.
Yeah, and then I'm just chopping it into like little tiny strips like
I'm
this.
watching like beautiful potato do all the things that like rough and tumble there.
some knife skills.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is not his first time at the rodeo.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I make horrible noises.
Is that the pig? What's going on?
Yeah, something. Do you think that being attractive means, when, like, an attractive cook means that the food would be less bad for you?
It's like when I make jokes with nurses, and like if they laugh, I won't have it.
Making jokes with nurses. That's very.
The name of my book.
It's true. Everyone's getting. I want.
Maybe you should meet my manager. And he's your age.
I love that you're setting me up with. Let me see his
I'm
picture.
gonna try to find. It's the hair is. Don't need that.
His hair is.
He's like a curly hair, really curly one.
What, you don't like it?
He's a top. He's that one.
Yeah,
He's not
that works.
wrong.
That works great.
Just saying that he is a Virgo. What's sign?
Cancer.
Cancer Virgo?
What do you think?
I don't know. So Virgo, I no, it could be nice. Matteo could teach him to be nicer to himself.
Let me show you.
What's his name?
I didn't realize Matteo was
His name is Matthew.
Oh, well, there
That's
you
what
go.
gave me the idea. Matthew Oberstein.
Nice Jewish boy.
Right? You do worse, darling. You do worse.
Yeah, do you like tall, short, or do you not care?
Height. I'm not really
Here, this is him.
anti-height or anything.
Not cute.
Cute.
Cute. Not cute.
He gives me like Disney cute.
He's got like.
Yeah, he does look sort of Disney prince-ish.
And he's a nice person. He looks like a kind person.
Usually they do this for us annually. So today I'm doing double duty.
I'll show you.
He's a little bit not as tall as you. Here he is.
No, but he's hella cute.
He's really cute, right?
Yeah.
He's so smart. He's really smart. And he's a great musician. He was a conductor.
Oh, cool.
He is a conductor. He's so great.
You gotta have a lot of status to get that gig.
And he's like,
What don't you like about being set up?
It's a control thing. I don't like.
all right, well then fuck you. I'm not. Should I separate the legs?
Yeah, actually, if you want
Great.
Maybe three.
let me see. This is gonna be 2, 4, 6. I want 7.
7.
7 eggs.
7 egg yolks.
Alright, can you give me a little thing? Because we have to use short.
You put the egg whites in here, and then the eggs in here.
Oh, wait a minute. That's 6.
Sorry.
No, you're doing wonderful. We have forever. How long does it take one
That's
child
good.
to rent?
I just put it on now. I'm not used to this type of stove. There's lots of wind in here,
Yeah.
so we'll see how much.
Does also anything we say here, I'm not. All I'm going to hear is this wind. So
Oh, you should shoot with Martha. Martha Stewart. You never shoot with Martha Stewart. Ever.
She just had that big auction show. Yeah, she
does what she does.
Is this my soul? That's
yes.
All right.
That's on a low plane, is it?
Yes, very low flame. All right, so I'm going to fix my pecorino and my.
It's fingering the cheese. No, I'm just telling the world. Oh no, you don't do that. That makes perfect sense. This pea is great.
So you're going to make your paste, right?
Daddy-o, I did not know this was a thing. It's already sexier than anything I've ever cooked. I'm so annoyed.
And I'm going to use a little more.
Right, you're just eyeballing it. It's giving you a vibe.
Yeah, everything is sort of.
Got a Pantone color he's looking for.
Yes.
Panettone?
Yeah. Another
Give it to
food
me, I'll give
like-
it to someone else.
I can't be trusted.
I don't like
for it.
panettone.
Me
to be honest
neither.
with you.
Yeah, I always wanted
I love
before.
it.
There
I
are
love
some
it.
things you can do with it that are really, really delicious.
My God.
Maybe
Like
a good
French
French toast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
panettone French toast, nothing better.
Yes. Okay.
It's just so.
It's
like,
not a little.
light.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is you wanted to.
This is like the backbone. This is like what she's built on, right?
Yes.
This is the foundation.
Yeah, and we're gonna play around with the foundation a little bit more.
Big whisk, nice big whisk.
Cute, big whisk.
You know what they say, darling.
Right. Big whisk, a lot of cheese. I mean.
Ooh, can I just take this?
Take it. Oh, take it all.
Good.
He has a hard out around 2-ish.
All right, we'll be done. What time is it?
1:34.
We got. Is my water boiling?
She looks.
Almost. Really close.
The pasta will take 12 minutes to cook.
How long? 12 minutes?
Yeah, probably something like that. 10, 12 minutes. All right, let me put in my pepper.
And then you don't
clean
salt it or
hands?
anything? Yeah.
Look at the pepper. No, the pecorino has so much salt.
The cheese has so much
Yes.
salt.
Oh yeah,
Just
just
so
sort of salty cheese.
All right, stop. That's good.
Okay. Oh my God, that looks like my mouth just got all
Yeah.
cummy. It got cummy.
All right, the guanciale. It unfortunately has to cook so hard.
You know, there's a meal that has a lot of steps. It doesn't always look progressively tastier each step. There's usually like an awkward cocoon metamorphosis.
Of course.
This just keeps every step I want
hotter
more.
and sexier, hotter and
Every
sexier.
step.
Bacon y pasta y queso y es cremoso. Alright, so now we're just gonna let this guanciale cook down. If Isaac has to go though, I don't want to speed it up too much. So let's see here. That will be a good heat for it. And our pasta. Are you still filming me?
Yeah. I'm just getting shots. I'm probably going to do like a compilage that I can put in somewhere.
Where's Mehran? Does he want to see how much I'm putting in here? Yeah, I don't want it that high. It's too high, too high, too high.
Ooh, look at that. It's like translucent.
I know.
I can't tell how high or low it should be because this is a very strange.
Yeah, I know. It's not a home thing, right? So
I'm going to use about this much salt to salt the water.
Nice.
is that kosher salt?
Probably.
Probably it is.
It's an Israeli restaurant.
Right, because there's that little Jewish star.
Yeah.
As we're making pork.
Yeah. The first time when you were like, I can't believe people make this with bacon, I was like, I wonder why. And then I see like the translucence of the fat on the guanciale. I'm like, oh.
It's also a different part of the pig, so you're going to get a completely different taste,
Yeah.
different texture.
The crispy, yeah, like.
And
But
the
it's, I mean, I'm sorry to say this, darling. I'm sorry. You're right, 100% right. This is the way to make carbonara, but you make it with like fucking, Oscar Mayer bacon. It's so delicious anyway.
It's just a different flavor.
Don't make a face and say that.
Because it's
Jetty.
See, that's more of a New York dish than an Italian dish.
Yeah.
What?
The cheap American
No, but listen,
bacon.
if you have it and you're starving and you want to make something delicious,
Yeah.
it's still, I mean, what's happening?
Right, if you want to add something to box pasta.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why is
That's all
this
I'm
fat
saying.
going translucent? I mean, like it's almost turned into like a gummy bear.
It's melting the fat,
The
and
gelatin?
it'll start to create like a pool of fat that it cooks itself in.
For sure.
And then this will turn like a light.
I get that it's rendering, but that texture of what used to be the white fat going to a clear
Yeah.
is not expected for beer.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking
I've never
for?
I've never seen a cut of meat do that in a pan.
Yeah, I've never seen a cut of meat do that in a pan either.
And usually
I mean, you've seen it.
I've seen them, yes.
You've seen it all,
Honestly, it's true. It is very, like, sort of translucent.
right?
otherworldly almost.
I don't remember looking.
Yeah, it feels alien.
Yeah. I think I saw this in Prey.
Right? Yes.
Yes, it was in Prey.
Yeah.
Like a right temperature. The flames here are so.
Can I just say thank you, Matteo?
Yeah, of
This is a
course.
very sweet thing that you're doing.
Prego.
Showing us how you're doing your, proper Italian.
All right.
I mean-
how many of us are really eating?
Like, I think. God bless. This is Isaac's cheat.
4 or 5?
Because,
What did you just do?
because you just use, like, 7 egg yolks and all that cheese. And I think that's the right amount of pasta, right?
Yeah, probably like 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah, because if you were making a pound, what would you use? Like 9 egg yolks and
Probably more cheese like that. Yeah.
wow.
You just
that's
use
really
it.
good.
Do you see how he just felt like 3 more noodles were
Yeah.
required? Where does that instinct come from?
A psychotic
Yeah.
mother.
Psychotic mother.
Italian mother.
Yeah, my mom has the same instinct.
You're Italian?
On my mom's side, yeah.
Got it.
I remember my cousins, so they just moved from Sicily to Jersey, so we get together like, once a month and hang out. So we took them to this Italian restaurant. It's a great Italian restaurant called Piccola Cucina, right down the street, and it's the best Italian food, like pasta that you're gonna get
For
anywhere.
real?
Yes.
What's it
Where?
called? Piccolo
It's
cheese?
this like called Piccola Cucina.
Where is it?
On Thompson and like Prince, or Thompson and Spring, like right around there. And we went.
Piccola cucina, like small kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes. And we went there, and my cousin's wife, who I've known since I was like 13, they've been together forever. She takes one bite of the macaroni. We had macaroni alla norma, and she takes one bite, and she goes, they should have waited. They should have taken this out 30 seconds earlier.
30
Exactly.
seconds.
Of course.
Yeah. My mom had a hard rule. She would basically only get split pea soup. Like if she ate out, she wouldn't order anything she could make.
Right.
Because she would just, it would ruin her day.
Yeah.
One thing would be slightly off.
My mother used to order scrambled eggs like every time we went out after theater. We would go to like the theater and then the Palm Court, and the plaza.
Oh, yeah.
And she would always get like scrambled. It was so crazy, like Ruffles Myers or something. Yeah, like scrambled. Crazy things.
What was the thinking?
I don't know. I guess because she
they can't screw it up.
Yeah.
Or we would go to the, the Four Seasons or something like that, which we used to share the kitchen with the place around the corner, which was called the Four Seasons, and then there was the kind of cheaper place that was the same kitchen, and it was called Brasserie.
Yeah.
And my mother she delighted in knowing that it was the same kitchen, so she would always ask them to make her like a hamburger at the Four Seasons, and they would, because it was just a funny New York thing. They used to also, at the Four Seasons, they had this cotton candy that wasn't on the menu. You could order like cotton candy for dessert, and they bring this like giant thing of cotton candy.
I
It was
remember
so
this.
cheap. At the Four Seasons.
At the Four Seasons.
No, not the new Four Seasons. honey, the actual Four
Yeah.
Seasons.
Yes. Got it.
Not the landscaper.
Like when I'm gonna take this up, it's gonna be hot. So they have
like
this. Just constantly. But let me ask if they have it. ¿Tienes que yo puedo usar mis manos cuando estoy haciendo la pasta?
No se quema.
Eso es perfecto.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Do you watch that show called America's Test Kitchen?
Yes, of course. I love that show. I watched it all throughout the pandemic. I became obsessed, and the hosts seemingly hate each other.
Right. Bridget and Julia.
Yes, they seem to really not be fans of one another.
But I love that. I love it. Right. It's like when Julia cooks something, Bridget's like, oh yeah, this is and when Bridget cooks something, Julia's like, yeah, that's a lot of steps, Bridget. It's really
Yeah, one time they were making
love that.
pancakes.
It's like me and the
they
other
were-
tech guy.
She was like, we have pancakes every Saturday. She's like, you didn't invite me. She an ass.
Okay. Oh,
I was like, we're making pancakes. Let's relax, ladies. It's not so serious.
It's actually a really good recipe. I use that. That's Julia's
Yes,
recipe.
I love it.
It's a delicious recipe. They're
So
nice,
good.
fluffy, thick pancakes.
I'm gonna move over here for a second. So
Do you
what
need
I'm
something to put pasta? Do you need me to?
I'm taking the starch of the pasta water and I'm gonna
Yes.
start bringing it into my.
Are you kidding?
Tempering the
Will you
egg.
do me a favor, Mehran, and hold that?
Hold her.
Yes,
Yes.
hold her. So we're just gonna bring it in slowly. So this is so we don't scramble our eggs.
So slowly.
It's called tempering, all right? Speaking of words. Use your words, Matteo.
It's tempering. We're tempering the eggs, everyone.
Why are we? I mean, were they mad?
They were furious.
They would scramble if you put all that water in at once because it's hot against.
Okay. All right.
And you want to use the pasta water too, because that starch that's in there is going to help keep the coating of the pasta.
By the way, here's the most brilliant thing that he did was he kind of like got the starchy part of the water, which I didn't even think. I mean, that is some professional cooking, honey.
Yes. How often do you make this for yourself?
I don't know. I mean, every once in a while, it's a bit of a production, you know.
It is.
Yeah, like what's the ratio of times you do it with the camera guy versus no camera guy?
What's the what?
With the
Oh,
camera
yeah.
guy versus no camera guy.
I know. I can't think of the last time I made it besides. Well, it's been a while since I made carbonara. I don't know the last time I made it.
Right. She's starting to cool her fats.
Yes, and then we're gonna take that back.
Oh, you know what? I was at a restaurant. I'm not going to say which one, and I had carbonara.
Yeah.
And it had scallions on top of it, and I was like, "Excuse me." And then it was actually really
You into
delicious.
lupa?
Maybe it was lupa. Anyway, it was very delicious, and so I ended up making carbonara with scallions about a few weeks ago. It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, if you just put like a few scallions on top.
You make carbonara every now and again.
I do, but not like this. I made it with the person who taught me how to make it is this cook called Lydia Bastiano.
Of course.
So the famous.
A cook called Lydia Bastiano.
Listen, Ryan doesn't know who she is, probably, does he?
Oh, I bet you know who Lydia Bastiano
All right.
is, just by virtue of being a starfucker.
Well, he didn't know who I was.
I'm saying he would be.
But anyway, she makes it with onions and stock and bacon. First you do the bacon, then you put in a little bit of stock, and you put in onions and stock and whatever. It's
Onions and
delicious, too.
stock is like
I know,
every
he's
Iranian
cringing.
plate.
He's
Yeah.
literally cringing from this, but she's from the eastern, or she's like from almost like
Croatia.
Czechoslovakia. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
I love her though. She's great.
I love her.
She makes, even though it's not authentic, right? There's a lot of controversy with fettuccine alfredo. Her fucking fettuccine alfredo is amazing.
What is it?
But I'm not gonna go
She
through it.
basically puts a bunch of butter and then heavy whipping cream and then the Parmesan cheese and then the pepper.
What?
I mean,
yeah.
I made that during the pandemic. It's just
Incredible.
yeah, and then you feel sick for like 8
Exactly,
hours. Like,
exactly.
God, what have I done? But it's so good. So this is almost ready to take out. And then I'm going to take the fat from here and bring it back into my sauce.
Little by little.
No, I mean it's already.
Now that it's
ready to
tempered.
go.
Oh, because it's tempered, she's not going to cook.
Yeah, she won't do it.
Girl!
Well, she won't scramble.
She won't scramble. Is this bowl for the chunkamunka?
No, the bowl behind me is. I already have the tipping towel.
This is wild.
So I want it to stay kind of crispy before I bring it back to my sauce.
So that is also crispy.
Yes. This knife perhaps doesn't work.
Feel free to scrape a non-stick pan with a. Feel free with that.
I'll do it.
That's how you get cancer.
Is it? No, we can't keep it. Everything can't give us cancer.
Well, I'm
My father,
paranoid because I still haven't got it, and I'm sure I'm getting cancer.
you're fine. Do you know my father? I promise. My father was a pretty accomplished doctor, and he was so wrong about everything, but medicine. He was right about medicine, and I remember real
Is this before or after the scandal? Just kidding.
the whole thing was a scandal with him. But
Alright, this is done.
one time, real drunk, he was like, "Cancer comes from stress.
Right. Stress and self-loathing.
It all comes from stress. Take it easy." I was like, are you telling me that?
Are you Iranian? Is that it?
Full blood, 27,000.
Because we are Syrian Jews, so the food is similar.
Yeah.
Food is similar, but I always pity non-Syrian Arabic food makers because it's just not as good.
It's the flavor. Well, Iranians
No,
are
Syrian
rare. You
food,
wanna make an
darling.
Iranian
No,
salad.
Iranians send their chefs to like Aleppo to learn how to cook. Okay, just say.
Aleppo is, my God, Aleppo pepper in everything. Do you put Aleppo pepper in everything
I
ever?
don't really know. I don't, but I don't really cook that much Syrian food. I do occasionally, but it's a whole other thing.
It's a whole other thing.
Oh, darling, a whole other thing.
Whole other thing. Look at Matteo go.
In a crop top. no less.
I mean, do you know what I mean? As in, like, he's literally sizzling bacon with an exposed belly. Can you imagine what would happen to me if I did this?
Scusi,
Running away on fire.
And can you hold on to it again for me?
Me.
Grazie. Grazie.
Go on.
All right.
Go on.
I mean, this is really
Smell
just
her
for
though.
flavor because
Smell her though. Smell her.
You don't want to use all of it.
Oh, it
It's
just
really-
smells so hearty and like.
Because here's how you make it if you're Lydia. You would do that, right? But you wouldn't. You would just take the fat out and you would cook some onions in there.
Yeah.
And some stuff.
Yeah.
And reduce it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then put the spaghetti in the pan and finish it.
My mouth.
And then put the egg yolks on top and just toss it with the cheese.
Okay.
Which is not as great. This is great because this is so great because it emulsifies. Like the sauce is now sauce.
It almost feels like a starter for like a Caesar salad or something. When you
Yeah.
see someone
How
do it
well
with like
scented do
a,
you guys like your pasta?
it's
Pretty, very.
I like it. But you know, it's like there's a trend where everything is like way too out.
Yeah.
So,
No,
I don't
yeah.
like. Here, can I see?
Yeah. And make sure it's whole. Because I would eat it like this, but it might have too much of a bite.
I can take another bite on it. Is that all right?
Yep.
this is exciting. And then meanwhile, that's crisping up over there
Yeah.
as the.
Because you're not going to finish it in the pan, right? Just get it in the bowl.
But it'll still.
A little bit.
I'm gonna head over there. Is the strainer over there?
The strainer is. They put it back in.
Here's what else you look like. My assistant Luke. Look how much you look like Luke. No?
He's another hot. Are you just surrounded by hot people? My love.
Ooh, should have done that.
No, move your hands. Don't. Sure, don't want to sit.
And by the way, Luke is also
doing
doing
this
Liza.
He what?
He's done Liza.
Can you get a cup or something? I need a little bit of this
Yeah, I
pasta
need it.
water.
Oh, well, closest thing at hand is this.
Perfect. Dip it in, take it out. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And Mehran, just,
Yep, I got it.
set it down. No, you're going to
All
burn
right.
your hands.
All
You're
right.
gonna burn your hands.
I don't mind my hands being burnt. So long as the party gets turned.
All right. Dun-dun. All right. Drain it all the way today.
No rinsing or anything. What if I rinsed it? Would you kill me?
I would kill you.
I would kill myself.
All right, that's fine.
That wouldn't take very much. But killing myself?
Oh, there's plenty of tools in
It
this
doesn't
room.
take much to tip me over the edge.
Thank you. And can you give me the guanciale real quick?
The guanciale. Grabbing the guanciale.
Where is it? Oh,
She's over there.
Where'd you go?
Yes. And is this her? This is
Bring it
her.
all- You can just bring it all in.
Just dump her. Yes. Yes. Yes.
There you go.
Oh, it is so slutty.
That's it. Carbonara, everyone.
That is so slutty. Oh yeah.
Questa è una carbonara.
My
romano.
mouth is like a ripe woman.
I'll just put it in here, actually.
With the cheese in the cheese bowl? What, your tongy tongs? Where'd the tongs go?
I thought a whole
We had
thing of
set
them.
aside some tongs for you. Dad.
They're tongs.
Oh, perfect.
Tongs, tong,
Great.
tong, tong.
I was gonna do it if you did.
All right. Yes, in the cheese bowl.
Money shot.
Oh, right, and the cheese bowl. That's a smart idea, right?
Okay.
I want Isaac to have this one.
Oh, honey, I'm going to eat like one bite of that, so. I'm eating like a lot of that, but not that. Because that's half of it. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, that's good.
Just for the plate, just so it's
Well,
pretty.
yeah, all right. So it looks pretty, and then we'll all have a bite of it.
Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
this slutty food getting sluttier still.
Oh, forks. They're right around the corner.
Fork.
Forks.
Are we eating in here or are we eating out there?
Wherever you want.
Let's take it back to the table.
Yeah, we have microphones there.
Divine. That was sort of a backhanded compliment. I meant it as a full compliment, like it's
Sure.
the most delicious thing.
Oh,
that
thanks.
was divine.
It was divine.
I'm going to make it like that only from now on.
Yeah,
You
it's
mean it.
it's the best way.
Why would you bother doing anything else when it's that perfect?
I've often wondered why when you see dishes in Italy, they're always so small and stuff like that,
You
and
see?
then you have that, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh wow, that's like a strong.
I don't want a half
filling-
pound of that.
Yeah.
I do.
I do, yeah, I do too.
Secretly. Secretly, I
not
do.
secretly. I'm
Yeah.
going to come right out and say
I'm
I would
open.
love you. Much
I
more
love
of
you
that.
for this.
Yes,
Lead us, Isaac.
it's a great, when you add cream or you don't use guanciale, or it starts to dilute the flavors. And so the Italians really want, it's a very strong, it's like a punch to the mouth.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's a very
you got
strong
guanciale
taste.
and then you got pecorino romano, which is like a sheep's cheese or a goat's cheese. It's super, I think it's sheep, and it's super strong, super pungy. It's a great combination.
Unctuous and
no need
like
for
the
cream.
It felt like the salt was fat.
Yeah.
Like the individual crystals of salt. I felt like I was communing with them. Right? I
Yeah,
mean,
and also the way you rendered the fat was really smart. It was nice
Very
and slow.
slowly.
Slow,
And it wasn't
patient.
overly rendered, Like sometimes they can do too much with it and it's gross.
Or it can hurt, like you bite it, you're like, ow, that was too crispy.
And here's the thing, my husband, I cook a lot and I make things, and he comes and he's like, oh, what if this had saffron? And I'm like, well, then it would be this with saffron. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck you, it's not. This
Right.
is like this recipe of that,
Right.
This is the recipe or something.
There's a group in Italy called the Carbo Gang, and they're these three Italians, and they specify only in carbonara. And so I've been following them forever because they make this like stunning looking carbonara, like super creamy and yellow and all that. And so I messaged them once. I was like, hey, I'm in Milan, and I'm trying to look for a good carbonara. Where should I go? They said, our house.
Exactly.
And I go, what? And they had me over.
So they're in Milan.
They were in Milan,
Ah.
and they make the traditional carbonara from Rome. And there's these three young, hot Italian guys. They showed us, they cooked us a giant meal, showed us each step, how to make it.
Oh, my God.
Like the whole thing. And I was like, this is absolutely
were
fascinating.
any of them fat?
No.
That's what I'm saying. There's something about it feels like the process didn't have any fat in it.
Well,
Do you know-
but the Italians are very conscious. I learned this from
was.
Katie
Like
Parla.
it was patient.
Do you know what I mean? It was measured. It was like tasty, testy. Like
It's
it
four
was,
ingredients.
It was care. It wasn't just shoveling.
I learned this from Katie Parlow, who's a great American Italian author who writes tons. I mean, she just knows. She could look at a plant, be like, it's this type of basil, it's that many months old. Like, she just knows everything. And she was explaining to me that the Italians are very obsessed with the digestive, system and to digestivos, right? So it's like everything is eaten so that you digest it well. They're very conscious about how they eat, how it's digested. So usually you have your salad after your meal because it's something green and will help you digest, and everything's separated. You never get chicken with pasta on the same bowl. You eat your pasta first. Then if you want meat, yes, that's right.
But you know what though? That's changing so much, and it's scary. It's
in
really
Italy?
scary. In Italy, in Europe.
Yeah.
It's like now, because when I was a kid and going to Europe, it was hard to be American because it was like, you had to dress because everybody was in board. Now they're the ones in board shorts and flip-flops, and we're the ones who dress. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, or like you go to France and there's really no French food anymore. It's all just, it's been sort of adapted in so many different ways that you can never find, I don't know what, you can't find like actual like cassoulet.
Yeah.
It's always like cassoulet this or cassoulet
Spain
that.
too.
Spain too.
The
And
Italians
Italy
have done a
too.
good. No, well, I think in really touristic parts, of course. Like
No.
it's like,
I'm talking in fancy Italian restaurants.
Oh, okay.
No, you want to find those little Italian restaurants that don't do
Yeah.
shit with the recipes. That's what you want to look for.
Yeah.
But people
Yeah.
don't go. Oh, maybe that's what you mean by touristic. Like
Yeah,
people
like-
go to these restaurants. You're right. That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
You have to be in
It's
the
not exactly
know.
touristic. It's like international. You
Yeah.
know? That's the sickening thing, right?
That's a better word
because
for it, for
touristic
sure.
is Olive Garden or something. That's
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Right. No, you're right. I think if you go to like certain areas of cities, they know that international people are traveling there. But I mean, yes, not to sound like snobbish, but like, of course, when I go to Italy,
do.
I'm only hanging out with Italians, so I'm only going to eat where Italians eat. So whether that's us cooking together in someone's house or we're going to a restaurant, obviously outside of Rome, you're eating the way that they eat, and they eat very coursed meals.
Do you feel connected to because you keep it so authentic, right? And I know how important that is to you. It comes through. It came through when we were talking about you shopping. It comes through when the first time I said that Noah used cream and you couldn't even look at me. Like I
And
remember,
I still won't.
and he still won't. But do you feel that connection to the tradition of it? Does that matter to you?
I don't know. In Italy, I feel American, and here I feel Italian. But even when I'm with my Italian friends, we'll be together for hours, no English is spoken, and they kind of look at me like, this is the kid, how do I describe it? Like if you watched Little Rascals and they had the one kid come on, you know what I mean? I'm accepted in that sense. Like Matteo, get over it. Matteo, he gets it. But they let me cook for them and they get a kick out of it. They always laugh. Last time I was in my friend Francesco De Carlo's kitchen. He's an Italian comedian. And there I was making cacio e pepe and carbonara for this whole group of Italians. They were dying of laughter. Like, what is this? The Americans here cooking for us. But they love it. They love it.
Listen, I loved it. I know that we
loved it. That was divine.
We loved it. And thank you. Genuinely thank you for cooking for us and walking us through that. And thank you, Isaac.
Thank you.
Yeah, so nice to meet
for
you
coming.
finally.
It was such a
Thank you.
treat.
It was a pleasure to meet
It really
you.
was a
Pleasure to
treat
meet
to
you.
have
And
you.
even a pleasure to meet you.
Even you, Ryan.
Joanne.
Even you, Ross.
Mateo, second time here. Isaac, don't come back. It's a no.
You might be right.
We're gonna
I
put
think you're right.
we're gonna put the recipe up. We'll get it from Mateo.
Sure.
Okay. Do you guys want to plug anything?
When does this come out?
Probably 2 weeks.
Okay, well, I would have left P-Town. You know what? I'm going to be... my tour is basically sold out except for fucking Cleveland. Get it together, Cleveland. What the fuck is going on in Cleveland? I'll be at...
And not much is going on in Cleveland. They might benefit from going to a Matteo
They'll
Lane.
love it.
Yeah, gays,
concert.
wake up. Hilarity is Cleveland, Ohio, September 23rd
club.
and 24th. Go to MatteoLaneComedy.com for tickets.
Thank you, Mateo.
Grazie a voi.
Nothing. How do we
No.
find you on? And do we go to your Instagram? How do we
Go to
stalk
my
you?
Instagram. I am Isaac Mizrahi.
Yes. Is it I am Isaac Mizrahi or is it just
I
Isaac?
am, like the initials I am.
I am Isaac Mizrahi.
That's yes.
Like-
I am Isaac Mizrahi.
Amazing. I'm Mehran. I am the Mehran on Instagram, and we are the Cheat Day Show.
At the Cheat Day Show,
Yep.
and I am Ryan Reiss. Ryan. RR Comedy, and we're at the Comedy Cellar. They're sponsoring this wonderful food podcast we do, and you can see us performing here.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Thank
So
you.
wonderful to meet you. I'm so glad we
great
finally got
meet
to
you.
chit
Me
chat.
too. I'm
I
so
know.
thrilled. And it's just so that I can actually meet Bob the drag queen and or Monet
Great.
Exchange. I'm just
Perfect.
kidding.
Perfect.
It's a gateway gay.
I get that. I get that all the time. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Cheat Day Show podcast. To learn more about our show, the hosts, the comedians, our guests, our chefs, and more, visit our website, thecheatdayshow.com. Also, follow along with us on our social media at The Cheat Day Show on Instagram and Twitter. Future episodes can be found in all the places you get your favorite podcast. Our show is also sponsored by the world-famous Comedy Cellar on McDougal Street in New York City's Greenwich Village. Visit ComedyCellar.com for show lineups happening 7 days a week. Later, cheaters.